danger for any kind of answer that I will give. You think
See?
as an adult is meaningful. I'm still struggling even with that, you know.
I'm so bad. I'm like... And I know that in those cases, you're doing exactly how you do with Romeo. You just hug me and you're like, it's okay, Amore, it's gonna pass. And that's it. Bonjour everyone and welcome to another
episode of Q&A with
Gabrielle
and Riccardo.
By the way, Amore, the last Q&A we talked about the podcast.
You want? We do a podcast. I will
Exactly.
do a podcast. Let's do a podcast. The
Let
love
us
podcast.
know. Pozzo Love. That's not a good name.
No.
Let us know.
Suggest. Ciao guys.
Everyone said yes to do it.
Yeah.
And someone finds such a fun name, which is Pod Zolies.
I like it.
It's super cool,
Cool,
right?
cool.
Anyway, so we are back for a new episode of our Q&A. I'm literally on my first day of period, by the way. So I'm having less of
I'm in
time.
danger for any kind of answer that I will give.
You know what? You're in danger mostly the days. I don't know if it's the same for you girls, but for me, it's like...
For a second, I thought you were telling me, I don't know if it is the same for you.
No, for me, it's like the first 2 days before the period that my mood is the worst. So you already survived, Amore.
And even this month, I made it.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
a lot of people ask us about like lifestyle and also about families and education and stuff like that. So let's talk about family and parenthood values.
Okay, super hardcore.
It's super hardcore.
We started easy.
Exactly. What kind of environment do you want to create for your children?
Oh my god, this should be like one episode of the podcast about this question. I start?
Yes.
You remember that the last Q&A we said that you start and I better for...
Don't think.
You know what we should do, Amore? I think we should keep our... I speak,
And I think.
so you can think. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I can tell you are still trying to...
Hey,
because you're very... Exactly.
Because
I
cannot
already have an
speak
answer.
That.
I think faster.
If I have time to think. No, but okay, I will go.
Do you have like an answer ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big topic, so we have many answers, but the first characteristic of the environment that I want from our kids, simplicity. Like, I don't want them to be in an overstimulating environment because it's not gonna let them develop their, own characteristics. So live in an environment in which simplicity and the love for simple things is important because it's something that is important for me. So I want them to try to grow up with the same value. That this doesn't mean that they're not gonna have inputs, point of reference that can be interesting, but at the same time, being able to appreciate the simple thing and, developing characteristic and creativity in a simple environment, I think it's very useful.
I agree with you. First of all, I think that this is something you should speak with your partner before having kids and when you think that's the right person, because it's so important to have someone that has the same vision as you for those topics.
Very
But
true.
I think
very
that...
true. To make a little parenthesis about relationship, about what you just said, it's very important. Also because I kind of had the feeling that you can know a person very well, but you cannot know that person as a parent till that person and you, obviously, become a parent.
I know you cannot know the values,
cannot know.
how they want to grow.
Indeed. Obviously, sometimes, I'm not saying that a person when becomes a parent completely changed. That's not true. But anyway, like it's a topic that you should speak about, not just...
Indeed, not just it's arrive and then you find out. I feel like the environment that we want for our kids, it's basically one of the reasons we moved to the lake, to be honest, is that I personally didn't want it for our kids to go in like private schools in Milan and be surrounded by the same kind of person. Like, I think that one of the most beautiful things that I had is that even though I grew up in Paris, in a quite privileged area, I had the chance to grow up with lots of like different kind of people, and I kind of see around us where the kids were going to school and everything, and I didn't want that for Romeo Charlotte. I love that we both went into public school, and I love that you grow with just normal people, you know what I mean? So I think that simplicity, it's important. It made me laugh when we say simplicity, because like when you think about our house and like the toilet that are all in glass and things like that, but but what we mean for that is basically being surrounded by nature. I feel like when you have nature around, the inputs that you have are different. Like the activities that you are gonna do on the weekends with your friends are different. You're gonna do some hike, you're gonna go on the lake, sailing boat, run, you're gonna have lots of physical activities is so good for your mental health, and just like being more in touch with the simpler things in life, because you don't have the inputs that you can have in the city. You don't need as many and as much stuff. You're more in tune with what's around you. Like now it's spring and you see the flower bloom, like all timing is different. I mean, felt that very deeply because I grew up in a city. I can really tell how different it is. I'd say we want an environment that is simple, close to the nature, and I want to keep them away as much as possible, away from like social media and stuff like this, which is something that is a bit weird. But I feel like, especially doing the job that I do, I know how...
I mean, you're more aware.
Like, I'm so aware of how complicated this can be on an adult. And I know the influence it has. So I don't want my kids to grow up and already being like confronted to so many inputs. Like, I want to grow them in an environment that I know for a long time, and then when I feel they'll be ready, they can explore the world. But I feel like internet is such an easy door to so many things that are way too much, and when you're 10, 11, you don't have the maturity to be able to filter the information, to know the danger on the research, and the algorithm are not on our side. The algorithm are feeding you with what you watch, and so it can lead to lots of difficulties. So I would say close to the nature, far from the internet.
Completely agree. I mean, I wrote a book about that many years ago, so true. I mean, I'm gonna say something that it's very, let's say, basic, but I think it's very important, and nowadays it's even more important. Kids, they should have the right environment at every age, you know, and phone, social media and stuff are not made for kids, are made for adult people, you know. So they should be exposed to those kind of inputs at the right age. Quite relatable for everything. In every phase of evolution of the kid is really important to have the right input. Probably also the kind of environment should evolve as the kids are growing and evolving. So maybe you can choose a type of school for when they are very young, and then maybe they need more inputs. Definitely, I think it's also very important for the parents nowadays to try to understand also the attitude of your kids and try to read them, no? It's not easy, obviously.
Read them and give them what they need.
But it's gonna be one of the challenge of us as a parents.
One of many.
One of many.
What are values that are non-negotiable for you in raising a family?
Respect for everybody.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Also, it's a little thing, but like I feel like when I grew up with my dad, and as he was a single father, sometimes I would eat by myself in front of the TV and my dad would eat like in the kitchen. And I think it's so important for the family to eat all together around the table, so it's the moment that you can talk about the day, and I think it's the perfect time to be together. So I think that mine of my non-negotiable that is easier is gonna be dinner all together around the table every single day, no matter what. Obviously then if they are teenager and on Friday they wanna be okay,
that's another topic.
But we have time sharing moments together also, like I want for us to not just live together, but really like share experiences, grow together, meaningful experience together with our kids is something that are non-negotiable.
I really hope that our kids, they will always seek for something more than today. Doesn't matter, I'm not speaking about money or whatever. I'm just speaking about, you know, finding your way, and being ambitious is making your way better every day. Just because it's a bit of a sense of life and it's something that is really driving you and also driving your happiness somehow. So always trying to make it better and get some successful. Obviously, I want for them to be happy. So I think that having an ambition, having an aim in your life could help. Then if it is bringing money, good. If it's another kind of satisfaction, good, fair enough, it's the same thing.
And also, obviously, we didn't say it, but love
But yeah.
is the main one. I feel like it's not even interesting saying it because it's the most important thing in the world. If you want, Amore, come sit next to me because we are a bit uncomfortable. We are on our bed because literally everyone is in the living room with the kids, with my parents and everything. So we are trying to hide to do this Q&A. But yeah, spending time together, helping them for their ambitions, lots of love.
But that's more something that I wish they find,
Yeah.
in life. Then obviously
indeed.
we're gonna try to teach them how to love and how to be loved, but
We show them every day. You
indeed.
don't have to teach when you show
Indeed.
them every day. How do you handle differences in parenting approaches? I don't know if we really do have differences in parenting approach. Do you see any?
I don't think that we have...
Should I start?
Shall I answer?
Alors, before having kids, I was so sure that I will be the authority in the family and I was so sure it will be on my shoulder to say no and be the bad cop. But it's not the case actually. I find out I'm so bad with authority and Ricardo is much better. So I think that what is great is that we play with the good cop, bad cop kind of situation. And it's also changing sometimes to times. It's not always the same. I think that what is super important, but it's probably another question, is to just always be aligned about what you're doing with the kids and the education you are giving them and never disagree in front of them. This is the worst thing you can do. I've seen it on myself. I see it with my parents and everything. Like, it's so important to be consistent together in front of them, and then you can on the side discuss about it and be like, oh, I do not agree with this. I would prefer like that, blah, blah, blah. And you handle it together privately, but in front of the kids it's good to have like one voice, for the authority and But I don't know if we have different parenting styles.
I think that we have a common ground, like we have main ideas, main values. Then obviously, as you are saying, sometimes I am the good cop, sometimes I'm the bad cop. Sometimes also, there are personal thing, like maybe you cannot stand something particular and I cannot stand something else. So then sometimes we also try that. I think that we do something that is very good. We try to moderate each other when we realize that obviously we are human, and after a day that you got a lot of stress at work or stuff like that, and maybe sometimes I overreact to something that our kids are doing. Even if Gabrielle is saying, like, obviously she's not getting against me, but you are moderating me and saying, Amore, you are overreacting. Always try to keep that balance. So if somebody's going too far, like, try to, pull it back.
We basically help us to understand, like, when we need a bit more authority, when we need a bit less. But I feel like it's something that is very natural and, like, kind of, we don't really think about it. We just do it, no?
Indeed, absolutely. But sometimes, even about that, we take time to speak a bit about that. Kind of to debrief. Sometimes we debrief about something happened during the day. You said, okay, next time please help me doing this, or it was very good when you did that. So that helps also to find those interaction rules, let's say.
Probably lots of like communication and try to help each other out into parenting, because we both learning how to parent as we go. It's something new for us, so we try to help each other as a team and be like, oh my god, today you did so well, like, did you see how you managed that? Or like hype ourselves up and like push ourselves in the right direction when we are doing good, and help ourselves to change direction when we are doing something bad or wrong,
Yeah, and also I think that us, for example, we are a couple of parents that are spending more or less the same amount of time with kids, no?
Yeah.
Not for every couple is like that, maybe, because maybe there are couples in which one of the two parents is spending a lot more time with the kids.
I think also we spend a lot of time with the kids compared to lots of families, because we are
lucky. We work from home a lot of time, so we spend a lot of time with them. We go to school, we pick up them to school. Definitely. But in general, what I wanted to say is that always remember that not necessarily usually all the parents have the same attitude toward the kids.
Yeah.
So it's very important, even in, I don't want to say educate each other, but yeah, I mean sharing information. So because if you are one parent that is spending the double of the time with the kids than the other parent, the
Yeah,
other
you
parent
know
cannot
better.
get the same information that
True.
you have. So, you know, being also welcoming in that way toward the other parent is very important.
So true. How do you divide responsibilities as parents while maintaining your bond as a couple? I think we just do a lot together.
Indeed, we do a lot together.
Yeah, probably too much. I think a lot of people divide more. But you would do, like, you would put the kids to bed. I would do like the cleaning and the bath and things like this. Like there is our activities that we prefer. So Ricardo loves to put Romeo to bed, so he doesn't want to have this taken away from him. And me, I enjoy doing the bath.
You feed them, that I can get crazy. You know?
Exactly. We basically have our things that we prefer and that we do naturally since the beginning, I'd say. And it became a bit like the way we share our responsibilities.
I mean, indeed, even in this case, you know, like trying to understand your personal attitude. Like Gab immediately understood that to me it was very stressful, for example, feeding the kids because they can get quite intense if they don't want to eat, if they want to play and blah blah blah. And she's very patient, for example, in doing that. Me, I love bringing them mostly Romeo. Charlotte,
she's not going anywhere.
No, I mean, she's just going to sleep and she's sleeping in 3 seconds.
She's staying at home every day.
Charlotte is just putting her in the bed and she's saying bye bye guys, I'm done.
No, we're super lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a period that it was really bad, but now she's been really good. And Romeo too, honestly, super easy. It's longer because you spend some more time, but it's the
beautiful,
best.
like
Yeah, exactly.
telling stories,
it's the best time.
chatting, like we chat in the dark about the day and stuff. It's me, I love that moment, for example.
Me, I love the bath, for example. I love the bath. I love being with them and bathing them. We play, we laugh.
I think it's something also related to our idea of order. Like me seeing the kids splitting the food on the table.
Yeah, also, yeah.
Or like getting all the bath wet and stuff. Me, I get crazy.
Yeah,
guys.
indeed, me, I don't care.
And she doesn't care.
Yeah,
so...
because I'm messy, so I'm not afraid of that at all. Yeah, it's probably also linked to that.
Probably it's related to that.
But I also learned so much patience because I'm telling you that feeding our son sometimes it's super challenging because he's a very picky eater. Oh my god. Mm-mm. I didn't know I could have that much patience. Sometimes it's really hard, I have to say. Like I'm really like trying to breathe in, breathe out. You learn as you go. So it's always the same. We basically are a team, so we are trying to help each other out and we balance. Like now I'm going to New York, I'm not going to be there, so Ricardo is going to be more present. Then Ricardo is going away for conference, so I'm going to be at home. Like we also split our responsibilities like that also with the work that we're doing. We do our best. Just like everyone else and hope for the best. I don't want to also sound like we know everything and we have so many answers. Indeed. I'm not even sure like those questions are so adapted to us because I don't think that there is one way of parenting and I do not believe that we have the answer for everything. We have the answer for nothing, guys. We're just trying to do our best the way we can with what we have and what we learn through life. Every day we're learning something new, you know, so it's very...
I mean, I would say that even in this case, even speaking about this question, like could be that one of the two parents love parenting and I mean has a huge attitude to be with the kids compared to the other. You shouldn't say okay, I'm doing 50-50, you know, like,
yeah, exactly. Also it's true,
it's really also
depends on your couple, depends
couple.
On your family dynamic, depends maybe, also on your finance, you know, like
us thankfully, for example, we kind of have the same attitude. Like we love staying with the kids, we love doing a lot of stuff with the kids, but at the same time we need also our profession, our works, our jobs. We need to do those things, and luckily both of us, and we are so lucky in that, we can kind of organize our agenda. Me, when I know that Gab has a show and she needs to go because obviously she cannot organize the show, maybe I will not take important meeting that day. So we can kind of figure it out. It's not so easy, and if the two parents are doing, for example, two completely different jobs, like obviously
it's complicated.
One of the two maybe needs to sacrifice something more or whatever, but it's like, I think, I don't want to make it childish, but I think it's a very important concept. Like, family is one. Everybody is a part of the family. Even the kids are part of the family,
Of course.
in sense that they are bringing something to the family. Everybody is bringing something to the family. There are periods of life and general personal attitude in which, you know, somebody maybe is bringing more on a side, somebody else is bringing more on the other side, somebody else is bringing more on the other side. So I'm a bit repetitive, but I'm very, very into not judging, you know, like, and trying also always to try to look from every single point of view, because somebody is great in making money and he has the opportunity to make money with his profession and the money needs for all the family. So we shouldn't judge him, her, in saying they're not doing enough as a parent.
No, yeah, I agree. And also I think there is also so many people that enjoy spending all their time with their kids and nurturing them and being them all the time and doing the education. And I think it's so amazing too. Like,
so amazing,
there's
so
no,
important.
yeah,
Like,
I don't think there's one way. Like, it really depends on who you are as a couple, as a family. That's what I was saying. It depends also on your finance. If you can sustain your whole family with one salary and maybe the other person has no interest in working and prefer to be at home, like, then how amazing, like, why not? And it doesn't have to be the mom, it doesn't have to be the dad, it can be whatever it is in the situation. I think that what you said is so interesting also, how there's no 50-50, like, the family is one and there's periods of everything. So maybe you are going to have a period in which you are going to stay more at home because you're going to be with your family, and then some period you are going to kill it at work, you're going to have so many projects that and you'll be away a bit more. But the whole thing about a family is to have like this support and this love and this care that makes everything work for your family. What did your own childhood teach you about what to do or not to do as parents?
Ula. This could be one of my psychoanalysis sessions, though. So, definitely, to me, the answer is quite easy. I mean, not easy, but easy on my personal experience. Time with your kids. Anyway, like, I'm a great fan of quality over quantity, completely, but a good quantity is important. I'm not saying that I grew up without parents, and not what I'm saying, but I grew up with two parents that they were working a lot. By working a lot, they allowed me to do whatever I wanted in life. You know, I studied in university that I wanted, I traveled, I had a lot of beautiful experiences. Today, as a parent, I feel that I want to spend more time with our kids compared to the amount of time that my parents, we don't share parents, spent with me, mostly in real childhood. Because, for example, I spent a lot of time, more time when I was growing up, like more like as an adolescent, let's say. For example, I was not the adolescent that wanted to escape, always be outside, and I've always been friend with my parents, even when I was an adult. So I grew up with a nanny at home, I grew up with grandpa, grandma. I always had a lot of love around me, a lot of love. But they always have been working a lot. Us, we are very lucky that we can work a lot, but at the same time, kinda, arrange the schedule. And as we have this luck, I kinda want, to make it the best out of that luck and for our kids, and try to spend as much time as we can with them.
It's so interesting because for me it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, maybe with my mom I didn't have so much time because at some point you just nothing anymore, no? But when I had both of them, I felt like I had a lot of time with them but never quality, and so it was a bit meaningless. So to me it's super important to have, that's what I was saying, like having like valuable experiences together, like not building a life around, like, I mean, sharing a meal is so important and I just talk about it, but like also, like, for example, one thing that my dad did with me is that he made me travel the world with him. Like, we had the craziest experience. Like, we traveled the Philippines, we were sleeping in people places. Like, he really showed me the world, and I think that this is something so valuable that changed me and like shaped me as a human being. Like, seeing so many cultures and like social categories. Like I don't know, it was so rich in experience that I'm super grateful for that. This is something that I would love to give to my kids too. Like I would love for them to explore the world, and I'm not speaking about like going into 5-star hotels and like staying by the pool. I'm talking about traveling. I think that this is something I would love to recreate for them, like having meaningful experiences and quality time.
Make a point.
Okay, but I love because we are complementary.
Yeah, indeed. But I also had this experience, like because thankfully, indeed, my mom, for example, that I grew up with, my mom, she was working a lot, she was trying to have quality time over quantity, so she was outside 6 days a week. But then every Sunday we were going to see this animal, to that park, and then traveling at least twice a year. We were flying away and traveling. Beautiful, but I never had her at a swimming race this Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes that meaningful thing that you think as an adult is meaningful, that's probably meaningful, but there are other small meaningful things that for a kid, maybe you know what I mean? The first competition of swimming,
you cannot miss.
Maybe you're shitting your pants and you want your parents to be there. You know what I mean? No, but I don't wanna, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I grew up, I had best childhood ever.
No, it's
not
true.
saying that. To make it perfect, I just miss those little,
Make it
perfect. And obviously...
It's true. Anyway, this too, it's very complicated at the end of the day, because I know very well your mom and I know how much she loves you.
Absolutely.
And I know your family. And I think that we all, you know what I said to Ricardo when I was pregnant of Romeo, because I was really thinking about like what it means to be a mother and everything, and I was like reading books about it and like speaking to my friends and and I realized that each and every one of us, we have something to complain about.
Sure.
Our parents, even the parent that was the best parent, we have something to complain about. I looked at him and I said, you know what, Ricky, I think that becoming a parent is also accepting that we are gonna be the reason why if one day they go to see the psy, they're gonna complain about us, because it's always the parent.
Yeah,
because maybe, you know, Romeo will want to have a mother that is like making him like apple pie on a Tuesday afternoon, and I'm not that mom. I mean, I'm learning how to cook.
Sometimes you are that mom.
Sometimes I'm that mom. Or maybe Romeo will want a mom that is super consistent, that's doing every Tuesday the apple pie, that
You're
every
not
Friday,
that mom.
and I'm not that mom.
I know what you mean.
You try to give your
example,
best with what you are, and obviously
indeed.
I'm listening to my kids, so this is not an excuse. It's not like, okay, I am what I am. No, it's not about that, because I will always work toward them and trying to be what fits best for them. So if I see that my son needs a certain type of attention, I'm gonna try to give him that type of attention, because that's the main thing. No,
that Romeo is not a physical person, and Gab would love to hug him and kiss him 24 hours.
I'm dying with that situation.
He wants to fight all the time and never be kissed.
Exactly, which is perfect. For me, it's perfect. I'm like, just come here, boy. So yeah, but you know, I think that honestly, I already feel like it's so hard.
I know,
parenting. I don't want in any way like put some kind of like anxiety to someone watching this video.
No,
I don't want to be
honestly.
like
But for example,
let me finish. You're interrupting me. I'm happy to give the answer and everything, and I know it's not judgmental what we're saying, but I just want to remind that there's no
Absolutely.
like, you know, like we don't know what we're doing. We're learning as we do.
Totally, but indeed I just wanted to say I'm not making my mom guilty because of that. I know that she was working, and I know she was doing the best, but as we are lucky enough to first of all be together, my mom was alone. So also this is a big difference.
Of course.
Like we are together. Maybe you're not gonna be there that Saturday, but maybe I will be there that Saturday.
Yeah, but maybe there's a mom by yourself that is trying to raise our kids, that is watching this video and that is gonna feel like shit, you know?
Okay.
So that's for her that I'm saying that, because us, we are lucky, but we both grew up with a single parent. You grew up with a single mom and I grew up with a single dad. So obviously when you are one, it's not the same,
it's
way more complicated. So we are coming from a place that is also lucky, also, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we struggle.
Totally.
So fucking hell. Indeed, sometimes I speak with my dad and like, I don't know how you did it. These questions are too complicated. You don't think?
They are very complicated.
Very complicated.
Very complicated.
I think it's very hard. It's
like
very
serious, very deep.
Very serious. Like it's not something you can reply lightly, no? What are the small everyday things you do to create a sense of security and love at home? Okay, we're gonna do a quick answer. We say that we love each other every single day, several times a day. We laugh every day together. We'll dance every day together. We'll
and
hug.
in this Gab is the best, by the way.
And we'll hug every day together. And if someone needs a bit of like love and care, we'll be giving it to them. Just our little routine.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I'm a very rational person. So sometimes, for example, with our kid not understanding why Romeo is started just crying because he's 3 and sometimes he's just losing the temper. And for example, something that Gab told me is you don't have to judge why. You don't have to ask him why. You just hug him, you just give him love, and that's enough. You already are doing what you are supposed to do in that situation, and it worked.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true, it's working. So literally, even in this situation...
Even if it doesn't seem rational...
No, because it is not, by the way, guys.
Yeah, but because they're too small, there's
it's
no
true.
rationality.
It's true.
They cannot rational. It's
I
like
know,
you're
it's
asking
true.
a baby to be rational.
No, I know.
I'm 34, I'm not even rational yet.
No, not at all. So I know, but I'm still struggling even with that, you know.
So yeah, no, exactly. Just, but also with each other. I feel like what you just said, that what you do with Romeo, we do it with each other. Also, like sometimes.
Sometimes I think I'm better in doing with you than with the kids.
Like now I have my period and I'm literally on the edge. I can tell that I'm on the edge, and I know
I can tell that you are on the edge.
I'm so on the edge. So bad. I'm like. And I know that in those cases you're doing exactly how you do with Romeo. You just hug me and you're like, it's okay, amore, it's gonna pass.
I do that with myself too, though.
This is how we give each other security and love, is
Yeah.
that we just give ourselves a bit of grace when we need it, and that's it.
Love, always.
I hope you like it. Okay, well, this is something a bit lighter next time, because this was intense, my friend.
Too much.
Too much. Okay, not also my period. Too much information.
Yeah.
Okay, give us a topic and we'll go for it.